As you can see, we are doing some track prep, laying a little bit of moisture down, and then we're going to roll out our first feature of the night, going to be your POWRi Midwest Modifieds. And then guess what's after the very first feature? Can anyone guess what comes after the Midwest mods? We're going to make things go boom in the night. Yeah, yeah, but see, this kid's excited. I'm glad. I wish other people would be, but he's the only one that's excited. That's okay. I'll remember that. I'll remember who was excited and who wasn't. As your Midwest Modifieds roll out for their feature, here's the starting lineup. On the poles, it's going to be the 84 of Dayton Newell, and his outside his dad, the 83 of Ben Newell. Row number 2 is going to be the 7 of William Garner and the 8K of Tyler Knudston. Row 3, going to be the 34C of Jake Carter and the 7C of Derek Cook. Row 4, going to be the 15R of Oakley Ragland and the 16A of Shannon Geller. Row 5, the 17 of Garrett Parker and the 25J of Ryan Hargis. Row number 6, going to be the 65 Junior of Carter Jackson and the 39 of Blake Muhlenberg. Row 7, going to be the 23 of Mark Simon and the 6 of Corey Henson. Row 8, you got the 55 of Adriel Shepard and the 75 of Colby Lathrop. Row number 9, going to be the 44R of Randall Cushing and the 27 of Terry Williams. And then row 10, going to be the 28D of Dylan Dampier, who is unable to make the call as he broke in the heat race, and the 87 of Aaron Odell. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are gonna go green flag. 20 trips around for our first feature of the night. Newell and Newell on that front row. Garner and Knudston, Carter and Cook. As they go down into turn 3, coming out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Midwest Modifieds at Midway. Everybody going to get through 1 and 2, clean and clear. As your race leaders down here in 3 and 4, it is Ben Newell to the race lead for lap 1. Dayton Newell, Tyler Knudston, Williams Garner, Jake Carter, your top 5. We got cars scattering down here in 4. Oh, we got a parking lot. Yellow is out in 1 and 2. So I looked over in 1 and 2, and I seen Oakley Ragland, Shannon Geller, and Jake Carter all together over there in 1 and 2. All right, race fans, lights are down. We're going to be green flag when they come out of turn number 4. Delaware double file restart. Ben Newell out front, out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. Colby Lathrop goes around in 1 and 2, but guess what? He keeps it moving. No, he doesn't. He parks it. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow comes out for the 75 of Colby Lathrop. Single file restart. Out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. We're through 1 and 2. Ben Newell leads from out of turn 4 and across the stripe. It is Ben Newell, Dayton Newell, William Garner, Power Company, Derek Cook, your top 5. Top 5 starts to pull away from the rest of the field. Out of turn 4, you got a new race leader, the 84 of Dayton Newell to the race lead. Oh, Terry Williams almost loops it around. As we're going to stay rolling, clean and green, single file up front almost. William Garner up into 3rd, trying to run down that 83 of Ben Newell. As Dayton Newell's got some separation between him and the rest of the field. Look at the battle back here in the mid-pack. You got 5 cars all duking it out for position. Williams Garner all over his back bumper. Tyler Knudsen right there on the top shelf. And Derek Cook rounds out that top 5. Light traffic about to become an issue here for your race leader, the 84 of Ben Newell. Or Dayton Newell. I'm sorry, Ben Newell's in the 83. Oh, look out. Knudsen goes around to the top of 1 and 2. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Jake Carter spins to avoid hitting him as Knudsen just got too high through 1 and 2 and looped it around. Delaware double file restart. Lights off, and a 3 coming out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. Oh, look out, we got a cluster. Ben Newell and Derek Cook got together, and Randall Cushing spun to avoid. Yellow is out, yellow is out. Adriel Shepard decided to take a tractor tire. You know what? I can't win. I'm just going to take the tractor tire home with me. All right, so we got the tire taken care of. Adriel Shepard's hood put back on. We are ready to go back to green flag racing. Lights are down. We're going to be green flag when they come out of turn number 4. And green flag is going to be in the air. Yellow is out at the bottom of turn 4 for the 15R of Oakley Ragland. Green flag back in the air. Here we go. Now we're through 1 and 2, clean and clear. As your race leader, the 84 of Dayton Newell comes out of turn 4. Ben Newell second, William Garner third, Derek Cook fourth, and Blake Muhlenberg sitting at number 5 spot. Yellow is out in 1 and 2 for the Randall Cushing and the 75 of Colby Lathrop. It appears, oh, never mind, they're going to stay rolling, or they're going to roll Colby Lathrop backwards out of Randall Cushing. Randall Cushing is going to be moving forward as well. All right, so Randall Cushing's going pit side. I'm being told that the 75 of Colby Lathrop has a flat tire. All right, so we're going to try this again. It is Dayton Newell out front. Ben Newell second. William Garner, Derek Cook, Blake Muhlenberg, then Ryan Hargis, Garrett Parker, Jake Carter, Adriel Shepard, Tyler Cadunston, Corey Henson, Terry Williams, Carter Jackson Jr., and Oakley Ragland rounds out the field. Lights are down. Backstretch we go into 3. Coming out of turn 4. Green flag going to be up and out and in the air. Everybody's through 1 and 2. Your race leader, the 84 at Dayton Newell, going to come out of turn number 4. Followed in by Ben Newell, Garner, Cook, and Muhlenberg. Jake Carter on the top shelf, running that number 7 spot, trying to get back up towards the front where he was before an incident that happened earlier in the race. Dayton Newell starting to put some distance between him and the 83 of Ben Newell as William Garner tries to hold off a charging Derek Cook. As Cook all over the back bumper there of William Garner. Ryan Hargis down to the bottom side of Blake Muhlenberg trying to get into the top 5. As Tyler Cadunston comes up and around Carter. And Tyler Cadunston now sits in that number 7 spot. Out of turn 4, it is all Dayton Newell. Got about a half a straightaway lead over the 83 of Ben Newell. William Garner all over Ben Newell's bumper. As Derek Cook kind of sitting there in no man's land all by his lonesome in 4th. Oh, Cadunston goes up top, almost takes it around. As Ryan Hargis is all over the back bumper of Blake Muhlenberg. That's the battle for 5th and 6th. Dayton Newell now a full straightaway on the 83 of Ben Newell. Uh-oh, Carter. Well, Carter was off the power. Now Carter's still off the power. Problems on the 34 machine for Jake Carter. He's going to try to keep rolling. The 84 at Dayton Newell comes out of turn 4. Going to see 2 to go. I think Jake Carter's got issues on that right front. As Dayton Newell comes out of turn 4, we're going to see the white flag one more trip around. Out of turn number 4, checkered flag for the 84 at Dayton Newell. Ben Newell second and William Garner your top 3. Race fans, our first feature winner of the night down there in Victory Lane. When he climbs out of that car, makes some noise. I see safety equipment coming off. Give it up for the 84 of Dayton Newell. All right, race fans. Hey, you better hurry up. Get over there. It's time to blow stuff up, and you're just now climbing down from the flag stand. All right, so not Friday, not racing. And 2 Fridays, we're going to do the Les Hayes Memorial. And then in 3 Fridays, we got added money for Hornets. So it's going to be a great time. So we're going to get next Friday off. Let's see here. We still got people in line at the concession stand. Lady in the black shirt, have you gone tinkle yet? Okay, I'm just making sure because you don't want to have to go tinkle in the middle of the races. You might miss something awesome like a checkered flag. So I just want to make sure, I want to double check that you've gone tinkle. Apparently I'm getting on the race director's nerves, but that's cool. I do it every Friday night, so, and Saturday nights too. So here we go, POWRi Superstock feature, 15 laps, 27D of Derek Henson going to be on the front row. The X221 of Jerry Brown going to be on his outside. The 2A of Ace O'Neill going to be the inside of row 2. The 53 of Danny O'Neill to the outside of row 2. And riding shotgun row number 3 is going to be the 56 of Mark Davis. right, we're going to stack them up 2 by 2, ladies and gentlemen. When the lights go down as they cross the stripe, 15 laps going to be the distance here for your POWRi Super Stocks feature number 2 for the 4th of July Spectacular here at the mighty Midway. Big shout out again to our sponsors: Joker Welding, Macadoodles, Eagle Machine, Carter's Auto Glass, Hudson Feed and Grain, Southside Collision and Refinish, and Brain It and Sling It Race Wraps. Green flag is going to be in the air for Super Stocks. Derek Henson jumps out to that race lead. Jerry Brown is going to hold on to that number 2 spot, but just like the heat race, he's got the O'Neills, Ace O'Neil, Danny O'Neil all over the back bumper. As lap 1 going to go to the 2070 of Derek Henson. Single file, Derek Henson, your race leader, Jerry Brown, Ace O'Neil, Danny O'Neil, Mark Davis rounding out your field. We are single file right now as the 2070 and Derek Henson starting to pull away from the rest of the field. Jerry Brown holds on to second. Mark Davis now up into that number 4 spot. Davis has got something on the top side as he's going to try to pick off Ace O'Neil and get into 3rd. And he might try to get Jerry Brown the 2-for-1 special. Not able to get it done. Davis going to be sitting in 4th. Ace O'Neil going to hold on to that 3 spot, but here comes Mark Davis on the top shelf. Jerry Brown going to chop his nose off and go, not today. Derek Henson, he's just on cruise control right now. Out front, Larkin in charge. Jerry Brown's got his hands full with Mark Davis, Ace O'Neil. O'Neil trying to get a run down on the bottom side of Jerry Brown. As they're going to be almost 3 wide through 3 and 4. This is the battle to watch. Jerry Brown holds on to second. As Ace O'Neil and Mark Davis still trying to find a line to get around him, waiting for him to slip up and bobble it. But the 2070 of Derek Henson is in charge with a full straightaway lead over the rest of the field. It is Henson, Brown, O'Neil, Davis, and O'Neil. Oh, Ace O'Neil's got the run. Not able to make it stick, and Jerry Brown's going to hold on to second. Ace O'Neil trying to get around that 2-2-1 as they're going to be silhouetting it down the back stretch and into 3 door-to-door. Mark Davis just sitting there watching the battle take place as it is still downtown Jerry Brown. Derek Henson, he has got a commanding lead over the 221 of Jerry Brown. Ace O'Neil still sitting there in that number 3 spot, unable to get fully around the 221. As they come through 3 and 4, is it going to happen this time? No, car length for the 221 of Jerry Brown. Turn 4, white flag is in the air for the 2070 of Derek Henson. Ace O'Neil up into second as Jerry Brown shuffles back to 3rd. Mark Davis 4th. Danny O'Neil in that number 5 spot. Coming out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag, the 2070 of Derek Henson. Ace O'Neil 2nd, and Jerry Brown takes that number 3 spot. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, a round of applause for Melanie Wynn with Remember Wynn Photography. Now, down there in Victory Lane as our POWRi Super Stock feature winner gets all of his safety equipment off. Here at the 4th of July Spectacular at the mighty Midway, you're going to have to make some noise. Derek posted on Facebook, where do I race tonight? There was a couple people that commented come to Midway, and he did, and it did not disappoint. Derek Henson also commented that the fireworks show last year was so great they had to come back and see it tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, hoot, holler, and make some noise for the 2070 of Derek Henson. All right, race fans, it's time for the next feature of the night. Your POWRi B-Mods. On the pole is going to be the 5 of Robert White. And to his outside, the 65 of Chris Jackson. Row number 2 is going to be the 77 of Jeremy Hazel and the 68 of Donnie Betts. Row 3, you got the 28 of Wesley Briggs and the 42 J of Donnie Jackson. Row 4 is going to be the 24 of Joshua Reddy and the 5C of Brian Cook. And riding shotgun all by his lonesome is going to be the 2 of Eric Graves. Race fan, lights are down. We will be green flag when we come out of turn number 4. White, Jackson on that front row. Hazel, Betts, Briggs, and Jackson, followed in by Reddy and Cook and Graves. Out of turn 4, green flag. Nope, just kidding. Just kidding, guys, just kidding. We're going to try it again. As we go down into 3, coming out of turn number 4, green flag is going to be in the air. They'll hustle in on 1 and 2. Chris Jackson gets that early race lead. come up and around Jeremy Hazel. Lap 1 goes into 65, and Donnie Jackson Jr. moves up into 4th. As that pushes Hazel back to 5th, but Brian Cook's there, Wesley Briggs is there. They're trying to get into the top 5 here tonight. As we come out of turn 4, a little bit of contact between Hazel and Jackson, but they're going to stay clean and green. As it is Chris Jackson, Robert White, Donnie Betts, your top 3. Donnie Jackson Jr. 4th, and Brian Cook. Oh, look out, Jeremy Hazel comes around at the bottom of turn 4. And that will bring out a yellow. Yellow is out. Yellow is out for the 77 of Jeremy Hazel. All right, we got them stacked back up in the correct order. Delaware double file restart. Chris Jackson out front. Robert White going to pick that bottom line. That's going to put the 68 of Donnie Betts up. Donnie Jackson Jr. down to the bottom side, and Brian Cook going to have to go to the top side. That's your top 5. Out of turn number 4, green flag is back in the air. Chris Jackson leads them down the back stretch out of 2. Brian Cook, Cook and Jackson got together as Donnie Jackson flipped a 180 and backed up right onto the tire. Yellow, 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 yellow. Yellow flag is out, yellow flag is out. Brian Cook and Donnie Jackson Jr. made a little bit of contact, and Donnie Jackson flipped a 180 and hit that tire perfect in reverse. All right, so we're going to try it again. Looks like Donnie Jackson Jr. is going pit side. As we go down the back stretch, lights are down. Keith the flag man's going to do the jig coming out of turn number 3, 4. Green flag is in the air. Eric Graves wrecked it in the heat race. Now he's up there trying to get into the top 4. Chris Jackson, Robert White, Donnie Betts, Eric Graves up into that number 4 spot. As Brian Cook going to hold on to number 5, but Joshua Reddy down to the bottom side of Brian Cook, as he's going to have a battle on his hands. That's the battle we're looking at right now. Brian Cook, Joshua Reddy for 5th and 6th. As Brian Cook holds on by about a car length. Chris Jackson still your race leader. Robert White 2nd. Eric Graves trying to get around Donnie Betts for 3rd. Eric Graves kind of running that high side, and you've got a new number 3, the 2 of Eric Graves. It's still Chris Jackson, your race leader. Robert White sits in 2nd. Eric Graves holds on to 3rd. But look at the battle back here for 4th, 5th, and 6th between Donnie Betts, Brian Cook, and Joshua Reddy. As Joshua Reddy's going to squeeze up in front front of Brian Cook. Cook still, Cook bobbles it too high into 3 and 4. Yellow is out, yellow is out. Brian Cook drove it into turn 3 just a little too hard and kind of took her up the hill. Jeremy Hazel spun to avoid hitting him. We had some debris down at the track. That's why the caution is still out. So debris, we got debris. Delaware double file restart. Chris Jackson, your race leader. He's been in charge since the drop of green. Robert White sitting in second. Eric Graves now in that number 3 spot. Well, I guess the tow truck's going to get in on the race. He's going to sit on that second row outside. Oh, never mind. He's going to the hot pits. He's got trouble. Trouble on the push truck. So Chris Jackson, your race leader. Robert White second. Eric Graves third. Donnie Betts fourth. And Joshua Reddy rounds out your top 5. Then you got Wesley Briggs, Jeremy Hazel, and Brian Cook. Going to round out your field as Cook looped it around in 3 and 4. Lights are down. They're going to be green flag when we come out of turn 4. Down into 3, Chris Jackson going to lead them on in. And green flag is going to be in the air. Eric Graves smacked the wall in the heat, but look at this. He is moving, ladies and gentlemen. The man on the move is Eric Graves as he's all the way up to second. He's got his sights set on that 65 of Chris Jackson. He's found something on the top side, but does he have enough to run down that 65 machine? As Jackson leads another lap, Eric Graves second, Robert White third, Joshua Reddy up into 4th, Donnie Betts 5th. Wesley Briggs 6th, Jeremy Hazel 7th, and Brian Cook 8th. But now Brian Cook gets around Hazel for 7th, as Robert White trying to run down that 2 of Eric Graves. White flag 1 to go for the 65 of Chris Jackson. Eric Graves still holds on to second, but Robert White's right down there on the bottom side. Who's going to take home the number 2 spot? Out of turn number 4, going to see the checkered flag for the 65 of Chris Jackson. Eric Graves second and Robert White third. All right, race fans, you're going to have to make some noise for your POWRi B-Mod feature winner. I see equipment coming off down there. Taking home the check at the 4th of July Spectacular right here at the mighty Midway. Ladies and gentlemen, the 65 of Chris Jackson. All right, race fans. We're going to lay some moisture down while I read the starting lineup for my favorite class, your POWRi Pure Stocks. On the pole is going to be the 21 of Peyton McDowell, and to his outside the 0 of James Reedus. Row 2 is going to be the 13 of Greg Dykstra and the 5 of Justin McDowell. Row 3 is going to be the 32 of Richard Adams and the 26 of Preston McDowell. Row number 4, you got the 9 of Brian Piercy and the 195 of Tyler Dawson. Row 5, the 23 of Mark Big Daddy Simon, and to his outside the 32A of Johnny Ray. And riding shotgun in row 6, the 42 of Trevor Ellingson. It's time. We're about to go green flag racing when they come out of turn number 4. McDowell, Reedus on that front row. Dykstra, McDowell, row number 2, and Adams, McDowell, row number 3. Out of turn number 4, green flag is in the air. Oh, look how Simon goes around coming out of turn 2. Yellow is out. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Yellow is out for the 23 of Mark Simon as he loops it around coming out of turn 2. So yellow flag's still out. They got the 27 of Preston McDowell over there. They think he might be leaking fuel, so they're going to get it looked at and see. Oh, so I'm told the fuel cap was off. I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it. No, I'm just kidding. It's got plenty of gas. It's just ain't got a gas cap. All right, lights are down, ladies and gentlemen. We did not get a lap completed, so original restart. McDowell and Reedus on that front row coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. Bell motor off down on the 1 and 2. Everybody's going to get through as Reedus and McDowell still going to be door to door through 3 and 4. As it is James Reedus to the race lead. Oh, Mark Simon off the power. And he made it to the pit road, but yellow is out for the 23 of Mark Simon. All right, so James Reedus was the official leader on that lap, so Peyton McDowell's going to pick whether he wants the top or bottom. He's going to go to the bottom. Justin McDowell's going to be forced to go to the top side. Preston McDowell down to the bottom. Richard Adams going to be up there on that top side. That's your top 5. Greg Dykstra, Tyler Dawson, Trevor Ellingson, and Brian Piercy, followed in by Johnny Ray. Lights are down as they cross the stripe. Just kidding, just kidding. Yellow's still out. Simon has spotted something on the track. We're going to get that cleared off. All right, now the lights are down, which means we're going to be green flag when they come out of turn 4. James Reedus going to lead them. Then you got McDowell, and Adams, your top 5. Yes, I said McDowell 3 times because there's 3 different McDowells out there. Into 3, coming out of turn 4. Green flag is in the air. Looky here, Peyton McDowell got a good run off of 2 down the backstretch. Coming out of turn number 4, it is going to be Peyton McDowell to the race lead. James Reedus sits in second. Richard Adams and Justin McDowell battling it out. And then Tyler Dawson and Preston McDowell battling it out. 2-car battles, 1st through 6th. Oh, Mark Simon goes way high through 3 and 4, but he'll save it. As Mark Simon going to be sitting in that number 7 spot. Peyton McDowell now got a good lead over James Reedus, but you can't count out that 0 machine. As it is Peyton McDowell by about a quarter of a car. Richard Adams now slid into that number 3 spot. Tyler Dawson coming up into the number 4 spot in front of Justin McDowell. Mark Simon gets around Preston McDowell. There is battles all through the field as Reedus back to the race lead. James Reedus, your race leader as they go down the back stretch and into 3 here in the POWRi Pure Stock class. It is still James Reedus, Peyton McDowell, Richard Adams, Tyler Dawson, Mark Simon, your top 5. Preston McDowell, Justin McDowell, Greg Dykstra, Trevor Ellingson, Brian Piercy, and Johnny Ray rounds out the field. Peyton McDowell going to jump up to the top side, going to follow James Reedus around the speedway. Richard Adams kind of going up a little higher too. Tyler Dawson, Mark Simon going top shelf. Everybody going to go to the top side. As we are halfway home here, ladies and gentlemen. 4, it is still the 0 and James Reedus, Peyton McDowell, Richard Adams, Tyler Dawson, Mark Simon all over the back bumper of Tyler Dawson, trying to get into the top 4. That's the battle we're watching now, as they're going to be door to door down the back stretch. Into 3 they go. Watch it out. Now 4. And it is Tyler. Oh no, I don't know. I couldn't tell. Too close to call. We'll just wait till next lap. James Reed is still your race leader. Peyton McDowell trying something a little different. We're going to go down to the bottom side a little bit. And Reed still has the lead, still in control. Richard Adams third. Mark Simon now up into that number 4 spot, as he's going to chop the nose off of Tyler Dawson. Now Mark Simon going to try to run down that 32 of Richard Adams. James Reed is still in control of the lead, but lap traffic might become an issue here shortly. As Peyton McDowell's down on the bottom side, Richard Adams hold on to third, but he's got Mark Simon all over his back bumper as they come out of 4. Oh, Richard Adams holds on, but Mark Simon is there. Down on the bottom side of the speedway, coming out of turn 2. Mark Simon gets up to third, but Richard Adams going to run it back. White flag, 1 to go for the 0 of James Reedus. One more trip around. Richard Adams comes back to third. Oh, Peyton McDowell's trying to make a run on it. Who's it going to be as they go down into 3 and 4 for the final time? Coming out of turn number 4 to the checkered flag, the 0 of James Reedus. Peyton McDowell second, Richard Adams your top 3. All right, ladies and gentlemen, down there in victory lane, your pure stock feature winner, as he's got the window net down, safety equipment coming off. Give it up for the 0 of James Reedus. All right, we got one more feature of the night. Going to be your POWRi Hornets. On the pole is going to be the 2 of Justin Day, and his outside the 2M of Corbin Mooney. Row number 2 is going to be the 45 of James Hartman and the 18 of Quincy Evans. Row 3 is going to be the 25 of Landon Sturgeon and the 18 C of Clay Chancellor. And riding shotgun in row number 4, the 8 of Kyle Kraus. Into 3, coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is going to be in the air. 15 trips around for POWRi Hornets. Justin Day takes off, but Corbin Mooney going to try to run him down. As they go down into 3, it is Justin Day down on the bottom side. Corbin Mooney down on the bottom side as well. James Hartman going to be there in that 45 machine, sitting in 3rd. Then it is Quincy Evans fourth, and Clay Chancellor in that number 5 spot. It's still Justin Day right now, Corbin Mooney, and James Hartman, your top 3. But look back here at the back of the packet. Quincy Evans sitting in 4th. Clay Chancellor 5th. Landon Sturgeon 5th or 6th. And Eric Krause rounds out the field in 7th. We're kind of single file right now through the field. Justin Day starting to create some separation between him and the rest of the field. As Corbin Mooney sits in that number 2 spot. 3 wide back here in the Hornet. Quincy Evans, Clay Chancellor, Landon Sturgeon, they're going to be 3 wide down the back stretch as they go into 3. This might get a little bit dicey. Landon Sturgeon on the top side of the speedway trying to come around. Quincy Adams chops the nose off of Clay Chancellor. As Landon Sturgeon going to move up into 4th. Now lap traffic starting to impede the process there of Justin Day, but he's going to make quick work of him down on the bottom side of the speedway. Halfway home, ladies and gentlemen. Clay Chancellor now trying to come up into 5th, but Quincy Evans going to hold on. Justin Day, he is the man with the plan right now. Been in charge since the drop of green. Corbin Mooney, the number 2, sitting in the number 2 spot. And then James Hartman rounding out your top 3. And it's Landon Sturgeon 4th. Oh, look out! Quincy Evans just about took out Justin Day. As your race leader almost got taken out by a lap traffic. Oh, he lost a wheel. That's why he made a hard right-hand turn. Quincy Evans lost a, look out. Yellow, 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 yellow is out, yellow is out. Hey, that's one of those boomerang wheels. You lose it and it comes back. So we're going to get Quincy Adams a little help back to his trailer. And then we're going to finish up these last 4 laps of POWRi Hornets. Ladies and gentlemen, give Quincy Evans a hand. All right, race fans, we're going to double them up. Delaware double file restart. Justin Day out front. Corbin Mooney going to go to the top side. James Hartman down to the bottom side. Landon Sturgeon down. Clay Chancellor up. And Kyle Krause going to round out your field. 4 laps remaining as we go down into 3. Coming out of turn number 4. Green flag is going to be back in the air. We go single file right now. Justin Day going to lead on Corbin Mooney, James Hartman. That's your top three. Landon Sturgeon fourth, Clay Chancellor fifth, and Kyle Kraus rounds out the field in sixth. Coming out of turn 4, 2 more trips around for the 2 of Justin Day. White flag, 1 more trip around for Justin Day. Can he hold on? Down the back stretch and into 3 for the final time tonight. Coming out of turn number 4, checkered flag for the 2 of Justin Day. Corbin Mooney second and James Hartman your top 3. All right, race fans, down there in victory lane, our final feature winner of the night. Got equipment coming off down there. Gonna have to make some noise as he climbs out of that ride. Ladies and gentlemen, as he gets ready to climb out, give it a round of applause for your POWRi Hornet feature winner, the 2 of Justin Day. Race fans, as you exit the facility, please pick up your trash and throw it in the proper trash receptacles. And don't forget, next weekend we will not be racing, but then join us the week after that for the Les Hayes Memorial. Y'all have a safe weekend and safe travels going home.